Among all the powerful beings in Elden Ring, very few carry a burden as heavy as Maliketh. When players first encounter him, he appears as a terrifying beast wielding a black blade capable of draining life itself. He feels like less a person and more like an unstoppable force. But behind that fearsome appearance is one of the most loyal and tragic characters in the entire Elden Ring. To understand Maliketh, we first have to understand Queen Marika. Long before the events of Elden Ring, Marika became the vessel of the Elden Ring and the ruler of the lands between. As an Empyrean, she was given a shadow by the two fingers. These shadows were created for a single purpose to protect their Empyrean with absolute loyalty. Maliketh was Marika's shadow. Much like Blade was created to serve Rani, Maliketh existed to serve Marika. His loyalty wasn't simply a choice, it was woven into his very existence. For countless years, Maliketh faithfully carried out his duty, then Marika entrusted him with perhaps the most dangerous responsibility anyone in the lands between could ever receive. She gave him the Rune of Death, also known as Destined Death. This rune was once a natural part of the Elden Ring. It ensured that all living things would eventually die, but Marika removed it from the Elden Ring, creating the Golden Order as a world where true death no longer existed. Someone had to keep that power safe. That someone was Maliketh. He sealed the rune of death within his own black blade, becoming its eternal guardian. As long as Maliketh remained undefeated, no one could wield destined death against the gods. For a time, that duty seemed impossible to break. Then came the Night of the Black Knives. A group of assassins stole a fragment of the rune of death from Maliketh. Using that stolen power, they murdered Godwyn the Golden, Marika's beloved son. It was the first true death of a demigod and it changed the history of the lands between forever. For Maliketh, it was more than a failure. It was the greatest shame of his life that one duty he had been given, created to fulfill, had been broken. Determined that such a tragedy would never happen again, Maliketh went even further. Rather than simply carrying the rune of death, he sealed it inside his own flesh, making it impossible for anyone to steal again. By the time we meet him, Maliketh has taken on another identity, Gurranq, the beast clergyman. Hidden away in the bestial sanctum of Caelid, he spends his days consuming death root. At first, this seems like a strange obsession, but there's a reason behind it. Deathroot is connected to the stolen power of Destined Death that spreads throughout the lands between after Godwyn's murder. By consuming it, Gurranq is desperately trying to contain the consequence of his past failure. Every piece of Deathroot he devours is another attempt to make things right. When the Tarnished finally reaches Crumbling Farum Azula, Maliketh stands as the last guardian of the Destined Death. He isn't fighting because he hates us. He isn't seeking power for himself, he is protecting the very thing he swore to guard thousands of years ago. During the battle, Maliketh reveals his true form, drawing the black blade once more. Every swing carries the power of destined death itself, capable of permanently reducing the life of anyone it strikes. It's one of the most visually striking and lore-rich battles in Elden Ring, but perhaps the saddest part comes after his defeat. As Maliketh falls, he doesn't curse Marika for placing such a burden on him. He doesn't blame the world for his suffering. Instead, his final words are filled with confusion and heartbreak. He asks why Marika would betray him. Even in his final moments, he remains the loyal shadow who never stopped believing in the person he was created to protect. That's what makes Maliketh such a tragic character. He spent an eternity guarding the most dangerous power in existence. He blamed himself for a tragedy he couldn't fully prevent, and in the end, he died still trying to fulfill the duty he had accepted so long ago. Many characters in Elden Ring chase power or revenge. Maliketh never wanted either. He only wanted to keep his promise, and sometimes the heaviest burden isn't carrying a weapon, it's carrying the guilt of believing you failed the only person you devoted your entire life to protecting.